Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff, and boy howdy is there a lot to talk about. The last couple of weeks have been quite intense within the cryptocurrency space. I'm not sure if you've realized. One of the really weird things is that everything now seems to kind of be coming true. What do I mean by that? Well, you might have noticed over the course of the last 2 years, while there has been other cryptocurrency news, one of the main things has kind of revolved around Bitcoin, the supply crunch, how there's not a lot left. And I've made sure frequently to bring videos to kind of let everyone know this. I understand that a lot of times, and I've mentioned this on other videos before here, and also on my other channel, The Modern Investor, that a lot of times I think we as people, and also people within the cryptocurrency space, we tend to hear numbers, but they don't have a direct effect on us, simply because we can't conceptualize or put all these numbers together at the exact same time. I.e., you may hear that a company has purchased 3,000 Bitcoin, 11,000 Bitcoin, 14,000 Bitcoin. But I do believe in a way that people end up hearing $13,000, $8,000, and they can't conceptualize a world where there would only be $21 million in total. That's the general idea. So we've heard over the past, it's been about a month. It's just been a month after the approval of the spot Bitcoin ETFs within the United States. A lot of movement of money, a lot of movement of coins. We had a really weird 2 weeks for those of you who missed it. Bless your heart, not sure how you did it. A good 2 weeks where prices were going down because we found out that one of the ETF companies who had a trust was actually being told to sell off by their clients, and that money was then moving into other funds and other ETFs and stuff like that. So that was the movement down that we saw. It was mainly because of a company called Grayscale who had to act on the behalf of their clients. Apparently they weren't doing it on purpose. The other really weird part is that during the downtrend, the price falls, we saw that a bunch of other companies were actively accumulating tons of Bitcoin. Other ones besides the ones that we're actually going to even talk about today. When I mentioned before in other videos, and this goes off the basis of the other companies that we heard about before. So the MicroStrategies, the ARK Invest, the other millionaires and billionaires who are buying all the time, the other companies, the other countries who are also mining and buying Bitcoin. It was based off of those numbers, and it was like a projection. Oh guys, get ready, by 2027 there's not going to be a lot of Bitcoin left for everyone. Hope you're paying attention, there's not a lot of time left. And I mean, even from the context of just years as opposed to decades, yes, the Bitcoin supply was dwindling quite rapidly. When you get the news of exactly, here we go, of exactly how much Bitcoin has been disappearing in the last month, it's a little staggering, and I'll try and give you some of the figures. So remember before, maybe on, I assume it was here, I'm pretty sure it was here. I want to say about good 2, maybe 10 days ago, somewhere floating around 2 weeks to 10 days ago, somewhere around there, we had news that the ETF issuers had actually accumulated, I think, around like 15 or 20,000 Bitcoin. And I was like, whoa, I was like, with those calculations, if we continue on this course, by the time we get to this day, there's not going to be a lot of Bitcoin left. That blew us out of the water because the next news that came out was, I think that they, I think it was 9 or 10 companies that they hold 40 to 45,000 Bitcoin. And I was like, that's a lot of Bitcoin to accumulate in a short period of time. And then we got news that that number was 90,000. And I remember that video because I was like, well, we're near 100K and it's only been a couple of weeks. Then we got news that all those companies collectively hold over it was 105,000 Bitcoin. And that's what kind of really got me, because I was like, typically, like there's another company, the company MicroStrategy. They've been accumulating Bitcoin, as far as we know, publicly for around 4 to 5 years or something like that. And we've heard that it took them 4 to 5 years to be able to accumulate over 180,000 Bitcoin, somewhere around within that number. It's a huge amount of Bitcoin, but it did take them years to be able to do that. The news that it took all these companies, the ETF issuers, a month, it was less than a month, to accumulate over 105,000 Bitcoin, I was like, well, they're probably going to pass by MicroStrategy very, very soon. This leads us to the news. So you know that one of the main companies in the ETF space is BlackRock. We can't pretend, we will not pretend that the other companies are equal to them in many other ways. You have the Fidelities, you have all the other companies and yada, 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 who make a lot of money, but it's also like BlackRock is in this game as well with like 0.2% fee for their actual fund, which is insane. The news today, we found out exactly how much BlackRock is holding. So remember when all those companies together were holding 105,000 Bitcoin, like all of them together, cumulatively, all of them at the exact same time? Well, the news is now that BlackRock was buying some more, as they've been doing for the last couple of months. No S there. And BlackRock now holds over 100,000 Bitcoin. Just BlackRock. No other company, just BlackRock alone is holding 100,000 Bitcoin. It says, since its launch on the 11th of January, 2024, iBit, which is the name of their ETF, I'm not sure why they chose like the Apple route. Okay. iBit has demonstrated aggressive buying behavior. Its holdings have multiplied by an astounding 3,700%. Soaring from they initially had 2,621 Bitcoin. That was also big news. You remember that when we had news that BlackRock had 2,000 Bitcoin? 2,000 Bitcoin is a lot of money. Once again, a lot of people, you'll hear the 2,000 and you'll go, oh, it sounds similar to 2,000. Many people don't sit there and take out their, almost said phone computer, take out their phone calculator and go like 2,621 Bitcoin times 50 something thousand. Oh, that's a lot of money. So even just hearing that, if they had only accumulated that, that's also a huge amount of Bitcoin that they have accumulated. But to hear that after, it says they had 2,621 Bitcoin that grew to an impressive 100,000 Bitcoin within just 1 month. Yes, the market is heating up because the big and the small players now know what's going on. We are nearing the halving event, which is going to surprise and shock a lot of people. A lot of people have been in this market. A lot of people have not been through a halving. A lot of people came in at the end of the last bull run, which is typical. You normally see that when the halving happens, a lot of people don't tend to pay attention to what's happening. The prices end up skyrocketing and we get a whole bunch of new people into the market, which kind of also pushes the price up a little bit higher. And then subsequently, we also see it fall down as well. So what's weird now is that we're actually moving up quite strongly in price earlier than we have in other cycles. And a lot of people, of course, assume it's because that they accumulated 100,000 Bitcoin in 4 weeks. So the other companies are also doing the exact same. And as there isn't a lot of Bitcoin to go around, we're seeing now the actual supply crunch. So every little purchase, but every purchase of several $1 million that's happening cumulatively over the course of a day or a week, what have you, or even all at once, if there's one big player, will push the price up. And this is only going to get more and more intense as time continues going on because it's been 1 month. Now imagine 2 months. Imagine by the time we get to May and the halving has happened. Do you think BlackRock is still only going to have 100,000 Bitcoin? Or do you think they'll have 200, 250, maybe 300,000 Bitcoin? Taking 300,000 Bitcoin off the market does a lot to prices. Now imagine the other companies. Now, keep this in mind. ETFs that have launched in general from other companies, what have you, tend to have a long lifespan. So we can only assume that this ETF is probably going to be with us for 5 years, 10 years, good 15, 20 years, like many other ETFs. And then we can only assume that they're going to continue accumulating. So riddle me this. If they have 100,000 Bitcoin after 30 days, how much do you think they'll have after 365 days? How much do you think they'll have by the year 2027? Yeah, see, people, like, you have to extrapolate, and we get this really good news and it affects the market. But then I think a lot of people, I personally believe that a lot of people don't go one step further and go, oh yeah, time continues and it's going to continue moving forward and they're going to continue accumulating. This is 1 month. We are going to have this discussion again in June and July and see exactly how much crazier things have gotten. Anyway, that's the BlackRock now officially owns over 100,000 Bitcoin news. I do sincerely hope that you've all enjoyed. Don't want to make you panic, but just try to understand what's happening to the market. Do hope you've all enjoyed. Do hope you all are having a great day, morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it's absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.